Okay. Okay. All right. I follow that. Go ahead.
And how you respond to that is important, and that could cultivate and feed a relationship. If you say, shut the hell up, that does not feed the relationship, right?
No, but yeah. So, Bids, it's that connection that we need to nurture in that moment. Now, that makes sense to me. I really think that it's that communication, and in that communication, there's so many levels of how you feel and what you go. Everything is kind of tied up into that sometimes, but we often dismiss it. And if we had that bad day, it's really easy to just kind of float. Yeah, fine, moving on. When you really need to pay attention to that moment. Need to pay more attention. Is what it sounds like right there.
So it sounds like you do.
Guilty as charged.
Yeah, you just suddenly realize something. And it's possible, too, that if you're stressed, that suddenly seems like you suddenly have this weight on your shoulders. One more thing I have to do. But the catch is...
That's how I framed it a little bit. But
but if it flows two ways, the benefit of a connection is that it's good for you, too. But they're also wanting to engage you, so there's lots of ways to make use of that moment. You don't have to go through the quotidian moments of your day, but you have the potential to be in the presence of someone that you care about and cultivates care for you, and you can cultivate care for them, and then it flows both ways, and things are good.
Hey, we need to have that written down somewhere. Maybe there's a transcript for what
I got a tattoo
and a tattoo. But holding on to the grudges and being angry and road rage, or as I use my example, but there are plenty of others that, man, it's hard to unhook from that almost immersive emotion that you're carrying. This anger is really one that we're all familiar with, and that's where we go in a lot of things. And so, man, I want to go, wait, I'm angry up to the door, and the door opens, and now I'm in paradise again. I don't know how you shut that continual stuff off, and you say to yourself, hey, man, I'm wasting a lot of time here. What am I doing? Those kind of things. So, but I mean, we're talking about it as it's somewhat intellectual, if you will. You just make up your mind to do that. But man, it just seems like it just stays a little too long and enters the relationship, and then when it enters relationship, there's another set of problems that you just introduced.
Well, I think that's why the idea of, like, with some couples that I work with, the idea is that let's create a space before you leave your car. You've pulled up into your apartment, your house, whatever the case may be. How do you make use of that space to be able to first do a little self-care, to be able to sort of gather yourself? Again, it requires some mindfulness to give yourself permission to do that, and then to be able to be intentional in what that looks like. Right. So if on the way in, there was lots of road rage, you punched some guy on a scooter, whatever the case may be, you pull up. The goal at that moment is that there is the potential to be able to take a breath and to reorient yourself to the place you're in. And remember, I think we've talked about this before, but part of the issue is that I was mentioning sort of being stressed. The goal is to have a life, not the life have you. And if your life has you, you're in this prey state. You are being, there's a predator, which is the life, your job, the things that you have to do. So you are in this prey state, and it is hard to be connected to yourself or others if you're being pursued by something with teeth. Right?
Right, absolutely.
And so part of the goal is if you can orient yourself and reground yourself, you can give yourself the perspective you need to say, no, that's not the case. There is, the life that I have is my life. I can find balance before I step into the door. And I don't know if the next thing I think we talked about too was coping strategies.
Right, and that's a big
part of what we're talking about right now is coping strategies.
Sure.
How do you most folks don't realize it, but they literally are in that prey state the moment they get up in the morning until they go to bed at night. And so suddenly they're unable to sleep. Their sleep is, it sets in motion all sorts of things to suddenly you've generated a level of emotional toxicity because you're constantly in that state.
This state, as you delineated, this is a prey. You're being preyed upon. Mm-hmm. Something is attacking you in some way.
Yeah, your life is the predator, and you are the prey. You're weak. The Sunday willies the people get that's part of what happens when you begin to feel that on Sunday is that your nervous system feels as if you're about to enter a dangerous situation on Monday. So suddenly you're in this state of potentially being preyed upon, and your body reacts accordingly.
Well, I think yes, but it comes back down to some sort of. It almost sounds like a intellectual pursuit that I'm. First of all, I have to acknowledge something. I have to think about it. I'm out of the car. I'm getting to the door. As we use this example, maybe too much now, but I've got to do a lot of mental work to get this down. Um, is it all cognitive in this way? What do you think?
Well, I mean, I think that it I guess it does
I mean, that's
sound
an
like
unfair question, but yeah,
yeah.
I just
Well,
realize
well,
that.
I hear that. No, that's an important question because, I think often that's why we talk in here about breath. It's more along the lines of just, I like that Buddhist image that, we often go through life as a clenched fist. And it's really more a matter of just relaxing and letting your fist open. So part of what we're describing is not work, but letting go. And there may be some initial work in noticing that your fist is clenched, but the next step is you take that breath and you let go. So it doesn't necessarily have to be work in that sense.